Good morning and welcome to the Inspire series. I'm so excited because I've got with me Samantha Jansen. How are you?
I'm good, Dale. How are you?
Great, thank you. So Samantha is an extraordinary woman, unbelievable. Now she's a publisher and she's an international speaker. And I was just thinking about books and how precious they are and how they pass the wisdom on beyond the generations. I was even thinking that maybe our school children could be reading more Rilke and Shakespeare rather than some of the stuff they're reading would be helpful. Anyway, by the by. So Samantha, I'm just so happy to have you because you are just creating a legacy throughout all these people that you're helping. Is that kind of a bit of a driving force for you?
Absolutely. For me personally, around my personal purpose and vision is always to, inspire people to have conversations, because you never know where that conversation would lead you. And from a conversation, then all of a sudden there's that aha moment and you go, what if I was to share this, on a greater level? And that's where, that conversation starts about writing a book and sharing that story, whatever capacity that might be. So, yeah.
It is so beautiful just to have impact people's lives, so many people's lives in such a huge way and internationally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, being able to talk to so many people across America and New Zealand, there's a big community in New Zealand, which is great because it's a quick flight away. I mean, not that we're flying anywhere anytime soon, but, it is one of those things that I personally love to be able to kind of, when I think about where Australia is, and then I've got, two different angles. It's been an interesting journey and a great one where I've learned and met so many people. You're always learning if you're open to it. So I'm always looking to embrace that moment. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And could you share with us a silver lining or something beautiful that's happened to you because of the lockdown?
Got two kids under the age of 11. So it is not a hectic household, but obviously, there are children that need, food warmed up and food cooked kind of thing. They're not self-sufficient with the food yet. So I've actually taken the time to reflect back on how busy my life has been here, to be quite honest with you, because I have been running a business since my son was a newborn and he's nearly 8 years old. And I have never stopped to think about life per se. I've kind of been, I would say, put my hand up and say a little bit on autopilot. This is my purpose. This is what I've got to do. And I'm going to keep doing that. And yes, I'm at home, but I'm not at home every night. And, there are times where I'm traveling. I come back as quick as I can, but I'm still traveling a significant amount. So over this time where I've got nowhere to go other than, show up on Zoom and that sort of thing, I've kind of reflect back on what are the moments that I've really enjoyed at home, being fully present and immersed to family life. I'm grateful that I had this moment after 7.5 years of running, that I have the opportunity now to go, you know what? This is the new way we're going to do business. This is the new way I'm going to show up as a result of my reflections and moments of gratitude when I go, this is what I want to create. This is what I want to stand for. So, yeah.
Oh, Samantha, can you tell us who has been a really big inspiration in your life?
On a personal level, it's my mom, 100%. She raised my brother and me as a single mom, and she really showed me what it was like to show up and always follow what is personal to you. Professional level, somebody that I got to meet in person, I've met him actually a few times, is Dr. John Martini. And when I first transitioned from the business world, from the 9-to-5 corporate world into business, I had a lot of, I suppose, self-confidence issues around, how will I show up? Am I good enough? That kept playing over and over in my head. And I remember going to one of his events. At the time, it was Hilton on the Park, which is closer to Richmond, Bridge Roadside. And he spoke then at the end of the event. I said to him when I went up to talk to him, I said, I'm so scared to leave what is secure to me and step into an unknown world. But another part of me is scared of what people are going to say about me, because I had this, I suppose, thing in my head about what society was saying about me. And in that moment, he looked at me, he grabbed me just, by the arm and said, Samantha, if there's something you want to do, go do it. Don't worry about the noise that people are going to make, because if you are clear and that fills your heart and that's on purpose, go do it. And the right people will stick with you and the others would, just disappear. And I was like, oh, that's all he's going to say to me, really? Seriously? But as I left that place and I, walked out of the Hilton of the Park, all the way to Flinders Street, because I chose to walk to Flinders Street. I don't know what possessed me that evening to walk, for 20 minutes or so. But in that moment, in that walk, is when I realized what he said was true. All my life, in my career, as a teenager, studying and all that thing, it was always, how would I show up? What would people say? And for the first time, somebody had given me the freedom to set me free from that defining moment. And it was incredible. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And could you tell us about a time when you reinvented yourself?
So I actually studied to become a fashion designer. So by trade, I'm a qualified fashion designer. Book publishing is something that accidentally happened as a result of me discovering what I want to do to make a difference in the world. So all my childhood memories was, I'm going to be a fashion designer. I'm going to draw these beautiful clothes, design them, have them made, and it's going to be on a catwalk in New York, in Paris. That's the thing. And even when I came to Australia, so I'm originally from Sri Lanka, came to Australia about 18 years ago, and I continued to study fashion designing even in Australia. And then I got a corporate job while I was night schooling fashion designing. I was in finance, in superannuation, go figure the two. And then I was at a crossroad where I went, what do I do? I mean, finance pays great money and I love climbing up the ladder. This is good. The promotions are great. I had bought a house with my mom, and then when I met my children's dad, we got a house together. So I was like, this is good. Money is good. I'm sticking here. And then I was at a crossroad in my life, and I took that time about 8 years ago to go, there's fashion designing as a qualification. There's finance that I don't want to do anymore. What am I going to do with myself? Where to from here? Let go of the professional career, the secure money, everything that was secure was out the door, and it was stepping into the unknown. But I had learned that the unknown is where you learn new things about yourself if you're willing to give it a go. And I didn't have any safety nets, honestly. It was like,
if you can be rejected, if you can fail, if things can not work, if things can work a bit but not really how you hoped, if all those things can happen and you're in the sea of life, having a go, that resistance muscle really starts to build.
Absolutely. And I love that you highlighted, resistance is building a muscle, because, I have never met anyone that has gone, I woke up and I embraced it and it was fine, Samantha. I'm like, tell me please about how that mindset was processing that, because, we've obviously read so many books, we've heard so many speakers, Dale, I think you'd agree, new habits take time, 30 to 40 days before we, start, going, okay, I can do this. And then it becomes something that happens normally. And that's, I think, for people, who train on a professional level, whether that's physical training or anything like that, it's structure of going, yep, gonna do this. And then those muscles get stronger. So absolutely. Yeah. I love that.
Well, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a delight and totally inspiring to speak with you. And way back since we met at the Light FM Business Breakfast, I've been really looking forward to catching up with you. And then finally, because of this, I've been able to. So I'm so grateful. And so Samantha, Jansen, have an awesome day.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again for having me. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and yeah, good to chat to you. So take care, have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.